Hola, mis compadres. This is episode 2 of season 2 of Castle Kitchen, and today we're going to be cooking Picadillo, another Spanish dish, of course, because this is the Spanish season. And we're 1 week away from Cinco de Mayo. It doesn't have anything to do with Mexican, but whatever. Anywho, that's what we're going to be making today. It's going to be a little mix of beef with rice, with a little bit of pepper, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, blah, 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 blah. You know how the show works. We're going to be mixing everything together, making something fantastic, something for you to enjoy. So let's just get right on to it. Make this awesome dish. So you get home, make it for your wife, kids, whatever. I don't know. Who cares? You can make it, enjoy it. So let's get over here and talk about our ingredients and get the show on the road, shall we? Alright, so we're now on this portion of the show where we talk about our ingredients, blah, blah, blah. Same as usual, nothing different. Point of note, you are going to need a rice cooker, whether it's this, you have some other one, whether you don't have a rice cooker, you have a saucepan and you can put the rice in there and boil it with water. However it works, find a way to cook rice. We are going to be using dragon rice here. See, dragon rice from China. So we're going to need that. For the rice, when we do get around cooking it, we are going to need some Bermuda Triangle salt and some Minotaur oil. So that's just for the rice. Now we're going to get to what we need to talk about, the actual picadillo part with our meat. This is our meat right here. It's a steak, ground steak. I didn't say what type, I didn't say where the meat came from. It could be human again. I keep referring to human because sometimes I'm cannibalistic. Do you have a problem with that? So be it. But this is ground steak. We're going to use top of the line ground steak. And we're also going to need some ogre eyes. Then we're also, wrong bottle. We're also going to need some garlic. We're also going to need some stinky rose. We're also going to need some conquistador powder. Then we're also going to need the ancient herb. And then we're going to get our wets now. We're also going to need black poison, which is brew, and some poison fruit. So that's all you're going to need, essentially. We're going to just essentially put all this into a saucepan, cook it with our meat, and once it's cooked with our meat, all of the stuff I just told you, mix it, cook it, then you put it on top of your rice, and that's it. Simple as that. Done. Nothing complicated. Simple, yet efficient, yet good. Stay tuned. We'll get right to it now, to the cooking part, the exciting part. Alright, you take your little pot here out of the rice cooker that we're going to put our stuff in. You're going to put your rice in. And we're going to have about that much rice. So then we're going to put it in the sink here. Now, obviously we're not going to cook it with sink water. That's just disgusting. What we are going to do is, we're going to clean out the rice. So you just slush it around in there for a bit, and then you drain it. we are. Then we rinse it one more time. I always like double rinse it. Give it a good swirl around. And drain it again, huh? There we go. So now you're going to use appropriate water to cook this with. Since we used, as you saw in the image, how much rice we used, we're going to do about 3/4 of water. Put that in there. Now, stepping aside for a second, we're going to grab our Bermuda Triangle salt and our Minotaur oil. You just want to put a little bit of this in your hand. Sprinkle it in there. And with our Minotaur oil, just going to add a little bit, just a little dab of, not too much. See, you can see the floating oil in there. It's just that little blob, so not too much. We're going to open up our rice cooker, put our rice in, seal it, start it. We're going to set the select, and then we're going to say opposite white rice, and then start. And it's going to be about 45 minutes. As you can see, 45 minutes. Bam. So you just push start. If you have one of these, you just push start. Put select mode, should be white rice, and start. And that's it. And we got our rice, and should take not that long. Alright, we come to the cooking portion of this, besides the rice over there. We come now to make the meat itself, the picadillo. So, grab our steak right here. And there we go. Put that on there. Just kind of stab into it, break it up a little bit. There you go. Alright, good enough. We're going to take our witch's brew here. Just pour that on there. We're going to take our poison fruit. Pour that on there as well. Before we start adding in the additional seasonings,
Must seem strange with me being quiet and all that, but whatever. I'll give you the awkward silent treatment. Perfect. It's like I'm concentrating, but also filming this, and it's like so much pressure, and I can't deal with it, and I don't know what to say, and okay, never mind. Ranting! Anyway, put it on our heat source here. Now, we just want to kind of mix this in there. Now we will be adding our seasoning as soon as it starts heating up. Waiting, patiently waiting as I chop up our meat to a little bit more little bits. Another way you could do this by hand. Oh, and before I forget to mention, you could add more water, like normally you could add a cup and a half to your rice. I preferably don't do that. I put about a 3/4, simply because I like my rice a little bit more al dente, but if you like your rice a little bit more mushy, then go for it. That's everyone's preference. Alright. So that's finally mixed and chopped up right there. Perfect. Let's test out our heat here. Ah, yeah, it's starting to get warm now. I think it's pretty safe to add our rest of our ingredients. Well, okay, maybe not all of our ingredients, but some of them. Start with the thinking rose. Garlic. A little bit of conquistador powder. And it all come out. Odd. Stuck to the bottom. There we go. That's all out. Alright, you're just gonna whisk that in there. Alright. So that's pretty well blended in there. Let's check our heat again. Yep, starting to heat up now. Go ahead and add our black poison. Starting to smell real good now. And now we could put in a combination of our ogre eyes and ancient herb. Now the ogre eyes and the ancient herb are dried out and grounded to powder. That's how I do things. You will not find them in stores that way. You have to kind of make it yourself. I will be making like a special edition episode. Special edition episode is like bonus factors, like how to dehydrate. Yes, dehydrate certain things in order to make it into a powder form and then mix it in here. That's just the way I like it. It's a purely by taste thing. You don't have to do that yourself if you don't want. I do because that's the way I like it. And I forgot to mention this ingredient, but we're also going to need some southern spice. Now, this is again another dried out, ground ingredient, totally homemade. You have to buy it as it comes in a store as a big, fruit. I say fruit because it's got seeds in it, as you can see. But you buy it over, or after buy vegetables and all that. So we're gonna add that also in there. Now you can start to hear it fizz a little bit. So that means we're getting close to heating up the way that we want in order to finish this cooking right here. So now that we added that in there, now we're just going to mix it in for this. Obviously finishes cooking. Now you may ask, why do you keep the seeds? Why? Well, because you keep the seeds because they have a lot of flavor in them. Now it's starting to smell real good here. If this was smell-o-vision, you would love the smell of this. So we're just going to flatten out now. Kind of spread it out in the pan, make sure it cooks real well. Not me chopping through it like I was before. There we go. Simple as that. Just kind of let it do its thing and cook. We're going to take this after it's done cooking and we're going to put it on top of our rice. And we'll have completed our picadillo. Simple, didn't I tell you? Alright, so this is our finished product, our rice finished cooking. You put it in there. You can see our picadillo meat, our rice, ready to be served. Looks awesome, doesn't it? You're gonna find this dish very delicious. There's not much else you could do it. I mean, you could add maybe some sauces to it. But overall, very simple and easy to make. I do hope you enjoyed this episode of Castle Kitchen, and we look forward to seeing you again next week during Cinco de Mayo week. That week we're going to be making empanadas. So stay tuned. We're going to be making more exciting things for you to digest and love. This is your host, the Phantom Chef. We'll see you later.